Hi guys, this is Marvin from shopsadapage.com, and today we're going to do an unboxing review of the ECSMX ESM9101 game controller. Now, if you haven't heard of ECSMX, make sure to watch the entire video. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so right here we have the packaging for the ECSMX ESM9101 game controller. ECSMX, for those of you who don't know, is another Chinese brand producing and selling budget gaming peripherals. They are known for their game controllers like what we have here today. They sell this on Amazon, AliExpress, and their own website. With that said, let's check this out guys. So in front we have their logo here that looks like a stallion, and then at the back we have their brand name ECSMX. At its side we have the exact model number ESM9101, its certifications, and of course made in China. And looks like what we have here is the black version. At the other side, we have their contact information like their email address, website, and even their manufacturing address here. Now, let's see what comes in the package. Inside the branding box, we have another brown box here. Inside it, we have the charging cable, which is USB Type-C. This means it's reversible and in theory should charge the game controller faster than micro USB. We also have here a thank you note from ECSMX, which I appreciate, so you can contact them in case you have any feedback about their product. Pretty cool. We also have here a very substantial user manual. It is in different languages for global support, and it looks like the instructions are pretty easy to understand. Inside the box, we also have the wireless dongle. It works in 2.4G wireless connection. And of course, we have the ESM9101 game controller itself. It's actually surprisingly lightweight compared to my Razer Wolverine Xbox controller. But it feels solid enough and the materials used don't look that cheap. The buttons feels nice, clicky and tactile, and there's not much wiggle on them. The joysticks feel smooth all around while the D-pad also feels really good with a decent amount of feedback and resistance. We also have a turbo button, the back and start buttons, and the power and mode button at the center. Again, the build quality is very good for its price, and I like the texture of the grips here even if it's just plastic. Here's the bottom side view, and here's the side which has the same texture at the bottom here. And at the back we have the left and right bumpers and triggers, which feels good as well. And we also have the USB Type-C port at the center. And lastly at the back we have the usual technical information and certifications. Now before we proceed with the proper review, here's a quick sound test for the buttons. In terms of design, obviously it resembles the Xbox 360 controller with the exception of the turbo button and the lack of colors with the face buttons. It has almost the same shape and layout as the Xbox 360 controller, which is not a bad decision, at least for me personally. I prefer the Xbox 360 layout compared to the PlayStation 1, but that is subjective and your preference might be different of course. Now when it comes to comfort, the shape and size of the hand grips are perfect for the size of my hands, which are relatively small. My fingers sit very comfortably around the grip without any necessary adjustments. It's pretty natural gripping this controller, and having a weight of only around 205 grams, it's safe to say that I can play with this much longer comfortably compared to my Razer Wolverine, which weighs around 272 grams. Not to mention the ESM9101 being wireless, so it has all the advantage in terms of comfort. Like I said earlier, the buttons feels really nice, clicky, tactile, and responsive. And I really had a hard time looking for flaws with these buttons. If I have to be very picky, I guess it would have to be with the face buttons. I feel like the click is not as loud as I was accustomed to. This controller is plug and play and will be detected by Windows 10 as Xbox 360 controller, and primarily will be in X input mode, which is the new standard. This means it will work out of the box with old and recent titles that take advantage of this new API. But it can also work in other modes such as the input emulation mode by pressing the mode button for 5 seconds. The LED 1 and 3 will light up solid in this mode. Press the mode button again once to switch to the input digital mode. Now the LED 1 and 4 will light up. Press the mode button again for 5 seconds to switch to Android mode. This time the LED 3 and 4 will light up. And lastly, press the mode button again for 5 seconds to go back to X input mode. And the LED 1 and 2 will light up. Basically, what this means is that you can use this controller in Windows PC, PS3, Android TV, and Android devices with version 4.0 and above. Just make sure you are on the correct mode for it to be detected properly. Now, this controller also has a turbo mode, and to take advantage of it, all you have to do is press and hold the button you like, and then press the turbo button at the center. It will flash indicating that it is now enabled. Now you can press and hold the designated button anytime for continuous gunfire and whatnot. And since this controller uses X input API, it has all the functions of an Xbox 360 controller, including the vibration feature. It has vibration feedback on each grip, which performs quite decent in-game. It is also worth noting that this controller only works in wireless even if you connect the included USB Type-C cable. That is only for charging the controller. Speaking of charging, when you charge this controller and it is connected to a device, the corresponding LED will flash slowly and will stay on once fully charged. But if you charge it without it being connected to a device, all 4 LEDs will flash slowly and will turn off once full. Also, if the controller is running out of charge, the LED will also start to flash. In terms of battery life, it has a built-in 600 mAh of battery and it is rated up to 8 hours. It has yet to die on me during my testing, and it also has a power saving mode, which will auto turn off after 5 minutes of inactivity while it is connected to a device. But if you disconnect the receiver, it will auto power off after only 30 seconds. It is also very convenient on my part that my keyboard also USB Type-C and is wireless, so I can just use the same cable to charge this controller. Now, let's move on to the performance, which is the most important part of this review. This being a wireless controller and is relatively cheap, I am expecting some major drawbacks, especially with the latency. But surprisingly, I didn't encounter any noticeable input lag or delay, and I've tried this in different types of games. As you can see, although I'm not sure if it will reflect on the video, the response is right on the money, even on FPS games. I really cannot notice any input lag. I tried it on Brawlhalla, which is a fast-paced hack and slash fighting game, which is by the way a very good game if you want to spend your time with your friends and settle a dispute against your wife. Anyways, I digress. I also tried it with sports games like Freestyle 2, RPG games like Assassin's Creed Origins, and FPS games such as Battlefield 1. Of course, this review wouldn't be complete if I didn't try this with other platforms. Unfortunately, I don't have any console so I can show you that, but I can show you how to make it work on mobile. All you need to have is a smartphone that supports OTG and an OTG cable. Plug in the wireless dongle, and then change the controller mode to Android mode like I've shown you earlier by pressing the mode button. Fire up your game and it should automatically detect the ESM9101 controller. I tried this in various mobile games and the performance is virtually the same, no latency, and it works perfectly fine. The wireless range is also good, although I could only go as far as our room allows me to be, and I guess this is decent enough for couch gaming. So the overall experience gaming with this is very good, and as I said earlier, I am really hard pressed looking for negative things to say about this. I really want to look for something that I don't like with this, but I just can't find one. Maybe time will tell in terms of durability, but as of now, it's all positive for me. So to conclude, for the price of only around $25 which is almost half the price of the original Xbox 360 controller, it is safe to say that this is a very compelling alternative. It has decent build quality, good buttons and joysticks, no noticeable latency, and overall good performance. The only thing that I think will keep you from choosing this one is probably the relatively unknown EasySMX brand. And that's the reason why I wanted to review this, to test this out and give you an alternative to some known brands in the saturated budget gaming peripherals market. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to check the full article link on the description below. Thanks to EasySMX for sending this in. You can get this from their official website, link on the description below as well. Subscribe if you like this, and see you next time. Thank you, have a great day.